Hey guys, welcome to another Damilola Forex Academy teaching. In today's teaching, this is going to be a one-stop video for everyone looking to apply our top-down price action trading system on the Forex market. I'm going to be teaching using GBP USD for our practical analysis and application of top-down analysis. For all of you that have been following my teaching, you know that we operate an organized top-down analysis system where we pick the markets regressively from the monthly time frame down to the 1 hour time frame in an organized system for a trade entry opportunity. Okay, so before we go on to that, I have a very important news for everyone. I have a bootcamp coming up on the 20th to the 22nd of June 2025. That is in a few days' time. Where during this bootcamp, I'm going to be taking so many areas. There's so much new knowledge that we have right now that I'm going to be sharing with every single person that comes to this bootcamp. From what? From our pure price action breakdown to all our entry variations to mastery on structure circles, mastery on fractals, so many areas in regards to technical analysis that I've never talked about on YouTube. Okay, and going beyond technical analysis, we are also going to be talking about psychology, risk management, and all of these stepwise approach that are going to allow you to be ahead of the market. Okay, while everyone is struggling around the markets and all, because you have been able to have a practical standpoint on your psychology, you'll be miles ahead of them. Okay, so there are so many things that I've never taught on YouTube that I'm going to be teaching in the bootcamp. So link is in the description below. Register for this bootcamp and join up, and let's impact you with this knowledge that is going to help you stay profitable for the rest of 2025. So link is in the description below. Back to our price action breakdown. What is the first thing we do when we come onto the chart? The first thing we do, as you guys know, is to come on the monthly time frame, which is the highest time frame available for us in the market. Okay, and what is the aim of coming onto the monthly time frame? The monthly time frame is the penthouse floor. It allows us to see the entire wave of the ocean. Okay, it allows us to see the entire wave of the ocean. It allows us to see the entire view of the city. That is the advantage. Okay, and the essence of coming onto the monthly time frame is what? First of all, we'll identify the real-time point where price is at. This is the real-time point where price is at. Then the next thing we want to know is that what is the wave of the ocean? Okay, that is the first thing. What is the wave of the ocean? Okay, so now we can be able to, collapse the chart, put the chart together, like zoom out a lot, and you can see that we are taking a chart from 1971. Okay, that's one beauty of our trading system, right? This is a year where I was not born at all, and I've not even heard of the word trading. Okay, and right now, multiple years later, I'm able to still read those structures and understand what happened there. So that is the advantage of our beautiful top-down analysis system. Okay, so now what is the wave of the ocean? Clearly, as we can see, the wave of the ocean is heading downwards, as we can see. So that means that what GBP USD in its entirety is bearish. That's what the wave of the ocean is, okay? And that's what the monthly time frame allows us to do. Now, what is the next thing that we are going to do now that we've seen the wave of the ocean? Okay, so now let's read the structures that are in this bearish wave of the ocean. So now, what are the structures? Okay, in its entirety from 1971, we can see prices make push to this level here. We can see prices come for an exhaustion here. We can see prices come for another push level here. Then we saw prices come for the first wave of exhaustion around the 61.8. The first wave of exhaustion here, price was not, the momentum was not enough to create the lower low the first time. Then what the prices do? It grabbed an higher low, then went ahead to test that equal wave of exhaustion, and that wave was now enough to create the lower low at this point. So one thing that is clear that we can see, right, is that GBP USD is bearish in its entirety, and we've been able to break down the clear bearish structures. Okay, so now that has been defined, what is the next thing we're going to do? The next thing we're going to do is to take this last wave of push right here. Remember that was in a bearish structure, right? This is push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion, push. So we are going to take this last wave of push, and in this last wave of push, we are going to break it down into wider structures. We want to break it down into wider structures so that we can be able to expand it and see what is going on real time at the moment. Okay, So now what are we going to do? We'll take that last wave of push. Let's take all of these ones off and just focus on that last wave of push. Okay, so this means that what we are going to zoom in a little bit more right here. We are going to zoom in a little bit more and focus on what? On this last wave of push. So this is now, where we are going to focus on. Okay, so now what went on within this last wave of push? First of all, from here, we saw prices make push to this level. We saw prices came for an exhaustion here. After this exhaustion, price started on a new structure circle here. Like I said, during the bootcamp, I'm going to be exposing so much on structure circles that you guys have never heard before on YouTube. Okay, link is in the description below. So here we saw price starting on a new structure circle. This is push, exhaustion. This is push to this level. Prices came for the first wave of exhaustion. It was not able to create that lower low, just like we saw on the monthly time frame. Then what the prices do, it went for a second wave of exhaustion. Then what was price able to do, it was not able to create the lower low. So after price created that lower low in clear bearish structures, what is prices currently doing? Price is on its way for another exhaustion, or price is pushed for another exhaustion. And we know that somewhere around here, price will grab that resistance. It will hit the resistance and not be able to go beyond. It will never break above this high, okay, because it will maintain the structures of clear lower highs and lower lows as it has been maintaining since 1971. So it will never break above this high. But anywhere around here, it will still play above a little bit more. It will hit a resistance and not be able to go beyond, and price will crash for continuous bearish movements of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so that has been defined. Right, so now in its entirety, we understand the entire wave of the ocean. However, on the monthly time frame, it's important to note, right, that for us to understand the most significant structure of prices, in this case now, what is the most significant structure of prices as we can see? One thing that is certain, right, this bullish move that took prices up for the retracement, right, there has not been a break of structure. Okay, what does that mean? This means that what the last higher low here is still holding. Okay, the last higher low here is still holding, and we've not seen a break of the bullish structure. Okay, these bullish retracement structures. What are the structures? It is push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion to this level. Then, okay, let's make the big pinpoint. Push, exhaustion to that level. Then prices continued by making what? Push, exhaustion, and push to this level in clear structures of what? Of higher highs and higher lows. So this means that what? This means that these bullish structures, right, that took prices up for the retracement, the bullish structures are not done until there is a break of structure. It's a break of structure that will now allow us to know that, yes, if you are selling, it's in the direction of trend. If you are buying, it's now a retracement. Okay, but at this moment, because we've not seen a break of structure, the bullish movements are still the real-time structure of prices because we've not seen a break of structure. Okay, so first of all, before that, we can decide to bring out our Fibonacci from here to here. Okay, that's from the high to the low point, right? And we can see that, oh, price is trading above 61.8, right? However, all of these bullish moves are retracements, and eventually price will get to a point that will not be able to go beyond again, and it will crash back into the 61.8. Okay, but before that move happens, what's our real-time structure of prices? Our real-time structure of prices is bullish on the monthly time frame because what? These bullish retracement structures have not been broken. Okay, so what does that mean? For example, if we see price make push exhaustion like this, push exhaustion, it's a break of structure that allows us to know that these exhaustions are done and the push have continued. Okay, prices goes for an exhaustion. It's the break of structure that will allow us to know that the exhaustions are done and the push has continued in that direction of trend. Okay, so now in this case, now this bullish move right here has not been broken. The last higher low is still holding, allowing us to know that the bulls are still in charge of prices. You can see that the last higher low is still holding of the structures. From here, this is push, this is exhaustion at this level. Prices came here, made push, made exhaustion at this level, push to this level, made exhaustion at this level. Then prices made another push to this point. Okay, so you can see that the last higher low is still holding, allowing us to know that the bulls are still the most significant structure of prices on the monthly time frame. Okay, so now that that has been defined, what is the next thing we are going to do? Let's just identify this high right here as the monthly resistance. Although, just like I told you, prices will never break above this high. Prices may just play around, to maybe somewhere around here, but it will still maintain the lower high. It will still be a lower high. It will still be lower than this, then crash. Okay, so that means that what we are just going to identify this level here as a monthly resistance point. Okay, However, like I said, price will not get to this point. Price will never get to this monthly resistance point. So there is no trade. We don't have any trade opportunity to this point because prices may just get to levels like this, maintain the lower high and correct back into the chart. Okay, so what are we now going to do next? We'll now take these bullish moves and read the bullish move on the weekly time frame. So what is going on the weekly time frame? We are now going to start by reading the monthly structures again. What are the monthly structures? From here, we saw prices make push, we saw prices make an exhaustion. Push to this level, we saw prices made an exhaustion right here. Within the same structure circle, prices made push to this level. Here, we saw prices made an exhaustion and a continuous push to this level, okay, allowing us to know that the real-time structure of prices, just like I had explained, I said that what the monthly time frame allows us to know the entire wave of the ocean. What does the weekly do? The weekly expands the information that we have already seen on the monthly time frame. So this weekly time frame is just expanding and expatiating on the information already seen on the monthly time frame, allowing us to know that yes, the bullish structures are still in charge of prices. So what are we going to do? We are now going to tag this level here as weekly weekly support point. Okay, so this is a weekly support. This is a monthly resistance point. And what are we now going to do? We are now going to take all the entire structures from the low to the high here and read these bullish structures. Okay, so by the time we read these bullish structures, we are going to get a better information on what is going on with prices. Remember that because on the monthly time frame, the most significant structures are bullish structures. So if we go on to our entry time frames, which are the 1 hour time frames, if we are buying, it's in the direction of trend, while if we are selling, it is a retracement. Okay, so now that has been defined, we are going to take this window, which will now be our range of focus, right? We are going to take this push move to the daily time frame in order to expatiate on what is going on within this our range of focus. Okay, so now within this range of focus, what is going on right here? Let's expand it a little bit. Okay, so now we set this weekly to any of these resistance points. It's our range of focus. Okay, so from here, what did we see prices do? From here, we saw prices made the push. All of these waves, prices came forward, and exhaustion around all of these waves. And what did prices do? It made smaller structures here, but it eventually went and made what? A bigger structure here, okay, of the exact same structure circle. So this is the last higher low of that structure circle. Then after this, what the prices do, it went ahead and made a smaller structure here of push and exhaustion. This now became what the last higher low of that particular structure circle. So I'm now going to take this last higher low here. Remember that I'll keep bracketing prices, right? And let's take the most recent high here, because we know, right, that any price can get to any resistance and it will knock itself back down. Okay, we are sure about that, right? Just as the monthly time frame has shown us. However, we must, whenever we are trading, we must still follow the rules, right? That if we are buying, it is still in direction of trend, and if we are selling, it is a retracement. And there are rules that are guiding us within these two, type of trades. Okay, so now within this range of focus, what am I now going to do? I'm now going to take this low and take this high. So this low is the daily time frame, right? So this low will now be seen as a daily higher low. So let's just take this highest point here as what? As resistance. Resistance CSC. CSC means current structure circle. Okay, so this is the daily higher low point, and this is the resistance CSC. Okay, so now we'll now take it to the 4 hours time frame. Okay, let's bring our tags a bit closer and let's expand the structures a little bit more. Okay, so what is going on within this window right here, which is what our range of focus, right? So we'll take it from the low to the high point. Okay, so from here, what did we see prices do? We saw prices make push to this level. All of this, we saw prices come for an exhaustion. Price eventually made small structures here, but was crushed by what? A gigantic structure right here of the same structure circle. Okay, and after prices completed that, what did prices do? Price now started a new structure circle again, where price made push, exhaustion. All of these moves, price eventually made push, exhaustion to this level. Then price made a push to this resistance CSC right here. Okay, so now here's the last higher low of prices. Remember that as top-down analysts, right, we keep bracketing prices. That's our job. Bracket prices into range of focus until we see a real-time trade entry opportunity. So what am I doing again? Just like I've been doing, is take the last higher low. Okay, so this is currently the last higher low of prices. Then take it and take the most significant high as my new range of focus. Okay, So this last higher low here, okay, before then, let me just go ahead and read the structures again, just for reiteration purpose. From here, we saw prices make push and exhaustion, right? Then we saw prices now go ahead and make a bigger structure here, push and exhaustion, okay? And after that, price now made small structures of push, exhaustion. Then you can see this one, push and exhaustion right here. These structures here are smaller than this big one right here, okay? So these are a different structure circle. Now, this higher low here is the last higher low, you know, it is the last higher low, and this is the last, you know, resistance point. This is the most significant resistance, and this is the last higher low point, okay? And this window will now be what? My new range of focus, okay? So here I'm just going to tag this level as 4 hours. This is a 4 hours time frame, right? 4 hours support, CSC. CSC means what? Current structure circle. So this window will now be where I will see my real-time trade entry opportunity. So I'll take to the 1 hour time frame. What is going on the 1 hour time frame within these windows, which has now been regarded as what? The current structure circle, okay? So now from here, reading the bullish move to the top, right? What did we see prices do? We saw prices made what? Push to this level. We saw prices come for an exhaustion at this level. Then we saw prices continue by making push, exhaustion. Then when I made the gigantic structure here, push and exhaustion within the same structure circle, called this is a small structure circle that was, you know, but within the same structure circle, this is push, and prices broke structure, okay? The last higher low was broken right here. This was where the last higher low got broken, okay? So let's take these things out and see it clearly. This was where the last higher low got broken, okay? So now we know that what? That the structure that has been broken, right? Like we said, is within this structure circle, okay? That is the structure circle from the low right here to the high, okay? So now, within the structure circle, we said that what? If we are selling, right, it's a retracement, because from the monthly time frame, we've seen that the most significant structure of prices are the bullish structure. So we know that if we are selling, it's a retracement. So now it's important to note that 61.8 Fibonacci level ends a retracement, okay? So if it's a retracement, end the opportunity at 61.8 Fibonacci level, while if the opportunity is in the direction of trend, end the opportunity at 100.0, or sometimes like on TradingView, you will see it as 1.0 Fibonacci level, okay? So now what are we going to do? Within this structure circle, I now brought out my Fibonacci from the low to the high here, okay? One thing that I can see, right, is that prices ended this sell at what? There was a break of structure, right? The last higher low here was broken, but the opportunity ended at 61.8. You guys can see the 61.8 written right here. This is 61.8 of the fib. So all of these levels here where price is rejected is known as what? The 61.8 Fibonacci level. So we'll now tag it as 61.8 PRA. PRA just means a potential reversal area, okay? It's important to note that what? That the 61.8 Fibonacci level is what? Is a potential reversal area, okay? So now, there was a break of the bullish structure. The last higher low was broken here. Let's go ahead and read the structures again. Just like we said, this is push. Prices came for a little exhaustion. Push and exhaustion. Push to this level and exhaustion here. Push to this resistance CSC, and there was a break of structure. So now that there was a break of structure, prices ended the break of structure at the 61.8. So it didn't give us a sell opportunity because prices went straight to hit TP, okay, without giving us a discount. For those of you that have been following my teaching, you know that what? We always wait for a discount to place in our entry position, okay? So there was no sell opportunity. However, we now have a buy opportunity. Now, where did the buy opportunity come in, right? The entire structures that took prices for a retracement to this 61.8, the entire structures has gotten broken. Where did it get broken? This is what? Push, exhaustion, push to hit this 61.8 level. Then what the prices do? Prices broke the structure, okay? The last lower high here, okay, sorry, let me make it pinpoint. Let me drag this to the top. The last lower high here got broken, allowing me to know that what? The entire bearish structures that brought prices down for that retracement, the entire bearish structures are done. Okay, so let me clear all of this out so that we are going to see it. You can see the last lower high here. What were the entire structures that brought prices down to the 61.8? Let's expand it a bit. Okay, the entire structures from here, right, are push. Then we saw prices come for an exhaustion here. Then push to hit this 61.8 level. Then what the prices do? It broke the entire bearish structure that brought it down to that 61.8 PRA, allowing us to know that direction of trend, right? Buy to the highest point of the broken structure circle. Okay, that is what you do when you are trading direction of trend. That level is also known as 100.0. It means 100.0 just means, okay, complete the highest point of the broken structure circle, 100.0, you know, no, complete it in its entirety. So the broken structure circle is here. Okay, this is where the break of structure happens and it affects all the structures to this point. So now, how are we going to tap into our entry? You guys know that we wait for a discount. A discount means that what? Allow prices to pull back for a 61.8. What do I mean? Okay, for example, this is push, exhaustion, push. There's a break of structure. If you buy directly at the break of structure, you are buying at premium because you are buying at a more expensive price. However, we wait for a discount. We allow price to come back to the 61 point and we buy at 61 point, put our stop loss at the low and we buy to the high. So we are able to buy at a cheaper price. Okay, this is one of our sniper entry secrets. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing even more secrets in our bootcamp. Okay, link is in the description below for you to sign up, join, as we are starting on the 20th of June. Okay, so what are we going to do from here to the top, right? What am I going to wait for? I'll just simply wait for price to come to the 61.8 here, put my stop loss at the low right here, then buy to the top right here. So I should be looking for, we should be looking at about a 1:2.3 risk to reward. 1:2.3 risk to reward means that what? If we are putting $1,000 on the line, we are going to be looking forward to be making $2,330 US. You understand? And if you are putting $100 US on the line, you are going to be making $233 US on this particular price. Okay, so it's a very simple way whereby we apply our system. Remember that what prices rejected a PRA, and at the PRA, what the prices do, it broke the entire structure that brought it down to that PRA. What do? Just wait for the discount to 61 points, buy at 61 points, hide your stop loss below the last low, and buy to the highest point of the broken structure circle for a 1:2.3 risk to reward. Okay, so if you're looking to learn more of this, master the art of top-down analysis in its entirety, including psychology, our structure circles, every single thing, link is in the description below for you to join the bootcamp. And it's going to be 3 days of so much value. Like I said, what you're going to learn during this bootcamp is going to be enough for you to run profitable with for the rest of the year. So link is in the description below. Join up and see you guys in the next teaching and see you all in the bootcamp.